Aren't labels wonderful things, boys and girls, as without them we wouldn't know what was in this can? In fact, the contents and ingredients of packets, boxes, bottles, containers, and all sorts of things would be complete mysteries to us without our friend the label. And OMG, could you imagine a world without clothing labels? I mean, how could we judge people at a glance? Or even worse, what if we went home with someone we thought was wearing Jag, only to see the same outfit hanging in a Kmart window a few days later? Now, that type of social stigma isn't washing off no matter how long you scrub in the shower. Yes, life would be a living hell on earth without labels, but now, in the 21st century, they're even bigger, better and more powerful, as with labels you can now prejudge, dismiss, even stifle people's opinions and arguments, no matter how valid they may be. Well, Yak, that sounds great, I hear you ask. But how does it work? Well, it's pretty simple actually. If you have political leanings to the right, and someone presents a point of view you don't agree with, or don't feel like arguing against, or you simply haven't got a valid counter-argument, then just label that person a pencil-neck, latte-sipping Northern Beaches keyboard warrior, and you'll no longer have to take note of anything they say again. Sounds a bit simplistic, doesn't it? As surely this tactic doesn't work in the real world with actual grown-ups, but it does. Just look at Australia's fact check website, which used to analyse statements of politicians, public figures, institutions and organisations, and publish the level of truth of the statement. So who wouldn't want something like that in today's world of smoke and mirrors? But as soon as the site started publishing untruths and exaggerations from the right, Conservatives simply dismissed these findings as bias, as fact check was run by the Australian Broadcasting Corporation, which is full of lycra-clad commies. And even though I can't find any evidence of this presumed bias, fact check is no more. Okay, I see the irony in potentially ostracising the right with these references, but if I do happen to have any One Nation wingnuts left still watching, before you would judge this as just another lefty Pinko Yakovich video and switch off your ears, or just switch off, then woe up, Pilgrim, as lefties are way worse. While they may be good at hugging trees, they're experts at strangling free speech. Think about it. While both sides are quite adept at exchanging insults, when was the last time you heard of a lefty losing their job or endorsement because they were called out by the right on a comment they'd made? While the right may love their guns, it's the lefties who have the weapons of mediate destruction. No matter how valid your arguments, no matter how solid your facts, if they have the slightest hint of being labelled racist, homophobic, misogynist or just plain bullying, then your arguments are not only not considered, you can sometimes be hunted down and taken out. As the fear of association with these labels will scare bosses, managers, sponsors and the like to do anything necessary to distance themselves, no matter what the actual intent of the claimant. These labels invoke such fear that even when complete and total morons just haphazardly interpret something as potentially racist, homophobic, misogynist or bullying, the masses step back and go, whoa. And as there's no actual ruling body, let alone a sensible and balanced one on what fits the criteria of these labels, then more and more innocent terminologies, events, observations or whatever become classified as potentially offensive, which in turn can not only close down their use, but even close down debate on whether they're actually offensive or not. Take the generally unchallenged claim that Australians are racist. There's a good proportion of people who believe that a good proportion of the population are racist. But in my 50-something years, I haven't really seen it. In fact, most of those I've come across who would be considered racist aren't really by definition racist. But even so, Australia wears the label of a racist nation, and we all appear unnervingly quiet, even accepting of this, even though a 10-second Google blows the notion out of the water, as any actual research reveals that we're one of the least racist nations on the planet, and miles in front of those nations we're supposedly racist against. But then again, saying we're not racist could be labelled as racist, and therefore the point I'm trying to make probably shouldn't be considered.